Good evening, everyone. I'm back for another reading only because the previous one was pretty heavy and the Divine didn't want me to end my evening in that way. So I'm here to do a follow-up, and I have no idea what all this is going to be about, but I've set the spread here. As you can see, there's a lot. There's a tremendous amount of crystals, because this is the amount of support they're saying that is around us. So this is not going to be the same for everyone, but certainly to some degree. And you won't be conscious of all of these things in your physical world, but just know that you're definitely always divinely protected and divinely guided. And so right now, the majority of the energies on the board is Divine Masculine. And you'll see here, I have quite a few different decks, but certainly we have the King of Swords that repeated, so twice here on the board. We have the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, really representing this Angel Tarot in the back here, which I read, and I was just really happy to see that. I'll read it in a minute. Two of Cups and the King of Cups here. This is an energy that's really struggling, so I'd like to start here. And I have a pen here, and that represents communication. Even though we don't have a communications card, I think we're moving away from doing it energetically and spiritually. It's coming into the physical, because the pen is tangible. Okay, and it's the pen that I used when I wrote the Christmas card that I gave him, my twin, and his children at Christmas. So that's, and I've been asked to leave it just the way that it is. It's on my table. I move it around here and there. I use it from time to time, but it's prominent here as a support. So I'm getting that he really did feel a lot of love from my penmanship. He liked that it was pink. He really liked the color. It was a very simple card, but it was very beautiful, like pink and gold and blue colors for Christmas. And I had it really setting and preparing for almost a year on an altar. I have many altars in my house, but that one there was very prescribed. And he would have felt all that love from the card. And I'm getting right now that he kept it, which is great. And look at, guys, love beyond time and space. That's this union. And it's overwhelming for masculines, when they come into the realization, when they start to surrender and accept, it becomes overwhelming. And that's this card here. I could feel that before I even started to channel. As soon as I touched it, and look how rough the water is. And look at his face. But he's very, at the same time, it's a lot of emotions, but it's like he's gotten rid of and he's releasing it all. So a lot of crying. I think there was a lot of crying today. If it wasn't in the physical, it was spiritually. Sometimes I see my soul crying, believe it or not. I have that connection. So I'm very connected to my higher self. So, and my soul and my spirit. So the Two of Cups, he just is crying because he sees now, looking back, how beautifully aligned you were as a couple and all the things you had in common. And you don't know what you have until it's gone, because he hasn't been able to find anybody else that matches him to a T. Like, you keep him in check. You're not scared of him. You stand up to him. Like, my masculine has a very powerful energy. Very sweet, very kind, very giving. But at the same time, he presents very stoic, very confident, even though he's not. He is, but he's not. when it comes to emotions, his own emotions. But the point of that is that many people wouldn't really feel like they can kind of like take him on. But the Divine Feminine has never really, like, because it's your counterparts and you mirror each other, really, it's a beautiful blend of all the energies. And like, he really likes how you challenged him in a lot of different areas. And oftentimes he didn't like to hear it, but he would kind of go off on his merry way and he would really think about it, and it was like, oh God, I can't believe I said that. Or I did horrible things, what was I thinking? Because his life was in shambles really for a long time. And this is past energy, so the emotions I'm talking about are more present and current right now, but all the examples I'm providing are like in the past. And he really likes how like you've come back together. So for the collective I'm going to be channeling tonight, you've been in pretty constant, well, you never went without talking, okay? There might have been periods of time that you didn't, but you always made sure to kind of circle back around to each other. And he really is grateful for that, because it really has provided him with an ability to see and understand more about why you were doing that, because he knows now that you knew all along that you guys were this. Now, he was trying to pretend like he didn't know. He knew. He just didn't want to face it because he made the egregious mistake of walking away. But it took that to really learn and understand. So elemental balance, harmony, centeredness, reverence. And, that's what we're clearing, because he wants to come into balance with his heart, and he has. He's going to feel much better by tomorrow, because we did a lot of work today and this weekend around clearing. And I watch another channel, Lana. She's a light language healer, and she's actually going to be doing one in the next few minutes. But I was guided to come on to do this, so I will go and watch her new release as soon as I'm finished. So if you know Lana, go take a look at her channel, and if you don't, you should really check her out if you really are a twin flame. And even if you're not, if you're just working on yourself and really want to come back home to your original blueprint and really need help removing blocks and clearing karma and dealing with darker type energies. She's very powerful with the work that she does, and she's been on YouTube for a long time. She has lots of videos on her channel, so go check it out, okay? I spoke of some of that darker energy in my previous recording here tonight. So yeah, not a subject matter any of us like to talk about, but certainly we can't have our head in the sand and pretend it doesn't exist. That's how it gives it power and strength, is by not bringing it to the light. And that's why I was guided to do what I had to do earlier. So he knows that you see beyond time and space, and that your love of crystals and your spiritual abilities and gifts and the ways that you've tried to talk to him about these things and teach him, he failed, and that he wasn't strong enough to receive at the time, but he wants to now. And I think that's another reason he's crying. And he sleeps with your crystals. They support him, and they're providing a clearing when he does that. And he's got his head on straight now, I'm hearing. And if you saw, I did a reading on Friday, and I talked about, or no, was it Friday? No, Saturday morning at the river, and the King of Cups was there, and I talked about him needing to take off that, I heard, dirty old crown. And so he has, and he's cleared the mind fog from having misconceptions about what a jewel's about, and it's not about the jewel itself. You know what I mean? It's learning about the important things in life, and it's okay to have beautiful things if you've achieved like wholeness within and a love for yourself and for the things that really matter. And if you indulge and you want to buy like a jewel or like crystals, that's okay. But it should never come at the expense of the well-being of the people you're tasked with taking care of. Okay? Because a lot of monarchs over the years, for me, it's just, to me, it's an overindulgence and it's an imbalance of power. Nobody should really hold power over others like that. So it's and I mean, I'm talking about like if you're connecting to old timelines where you might have been kind of in an affluent position, you might resonate. But I'm speaking, I guess now I'm channeling more that there's correlation with the relationship even in this life where we're not in this energy anymore, but just realizing, the important things, and that he didn't value the correct things. He thought he knew what it was that he needed to be happy and whole, and it's not jewels. And it brings me back to this card because this was the first one that I read, and I just want to read it here. The praiseworthy God, so it's the King of Pentacles. Light of understanding acquires knowledge and cures illness. Do you see that? So this as well is important because it's going to assist still with the clearing of any potential things that made us sick as a result of black magic. Okay, so let's see. The Nine of Pentacles, the all-knowing God, submission to higher order, identifies traitors and destroys their plans. Yeah, you see that? But do you see how that angel looks like a feminine to me? And she's like, this is like, we're done. Like, that's you, divine feminine. You overcame that black magic stuff we talked about earlier. And you've just gotten back, or your guides just got back and cleaned up whatever was left, okay? So don't worry. Look, she doesn't look worried. She's not in battle mode here. It's like, okay, I've got my shield, I'm back and I'm okay. And she took care of business. That's you took care of business. And that could represent the masculine as well. Because I feel like we're mirroring each other and the energies are completely merged. So the two twins energetics are completely merged. So what I might mean by that is your life will almost mirror to a T your twin's life, okay? So all of the ways that if he, kicked some karmics to the curb, only in that he was very clear with boundaries, you're also setting healthy boundaries in some capacity in your life as well with exes. So I know with mine, I haven't actually connected too much with my children's dad, and it's not that it's a bad relationship or anything, but I always felt like once my twin comes back into my life, that's going to have to happen because we're not going to be able to, like, we're friends, but like we won't be able to spend as much time together as we used to because I'll have, like, my time will be spent with somebody else. And we are just friends, so it's not like it was a romantic relationship of any kind, but it just seems like the way that things have gone since Christmas, I haven't seen him, so that's very unusual. He has another child, and often, that little guy comes and visits my son, so that's kind of how we usually have contact. And he owns a business in my community, so often I'm in there picking up things. And so anyhow, despite all of that, haven't seen him. So that's really interesting, and that's key as well, because I think it's allowing everyone time to reset, because there's definitely changes afoot here coming. And I feel like communication's imminent here with this pen. So we see the King of Swords appearing twice here, and then we've got the King of Wands with the Six of Wands. So he's really overcome the dark, shadowy aspects of the King of Wands is what I'm getting. So he's really got his sexual urges in check. He's overcome that. He's stable. He knows he needs to focus on his own healing, and the crystals heal him. And I provided crystals at Christmas, but I often would give crystals if I would see him. I would have some in my pot. I always have them around, and if I was guided, I would give them to him. And I think that he's really, really tapped into them, and he really appreciates them. Because see how he's looking at this big amethyst here? And the amethyst, as we know, is a master healer. And look at all the amethysts I've got here on the table. So that's really important. So he stands above this Queen of Wands. I think this is a karmic. But he used to feel like little, compared to her. And he sees how he used to let her kind of get to him, and has let her kind of get ahead in life because he couldn't stand up to her. And it caused a lot of stress. Like the Nine of Wands is like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. And look how she's like devious looking. She looks like, oh yeah, I've got it made in the shade, and I know, and I this and that. So I feel like this was him. Like a Page of Cups is no match for a Queen of Wands. Okay, she would eat this person alive. And this really fits the mold for my twin and his ex with the children that they have. She really is difficult to manage, and really struggles with, not interfering in his life. And she really tries to manage everything. And a big part of the issues we had was just his inability to have healthy boundaries. He would lead people to believe that he does, but he really didn't. So I think, look how mad this guy looks too. It's kind of like, not impressed. So I don't quite know what's going on here though. So I'm happy to see though that he's in this stage right now with this specific karmic, okay? That now he's going to be able to focus, now that he's resolved his emotions, and he really knows that the Two of Cups is still here. It's good that you maintain communication, but even with healthy boundaries, it's still good that you did that, because he can feel it, and he knows that you're there, and that you've got his back, and that this union is always going to be there, and he feels very well supported. So he's had to do a release this weekend. There's been a lot of emotions shared, and oh yeah, look at this. These are the same cards from earlier. So the communication's definitely coming. And this good luck and happiness and harmony is that Ace of Cups. Hi, Misty. There's my Misty. There's that Nine of Cups. These are all the same cards from earlier. But definitely this is where he's going to be kind of jumping into this week, and within the next couple of days to the next couple of weeks, that there's a big conversation that he knows he has to have with her, and once he has it, he'll have overcome this block. And feeling healthy in his sacral chakra, and by cutting out like all the other exes, or if he was like dating or friends with benefits here and there with whatever he was doing, like he hasn't done that, and he sees that it's made him feel a lot more stable and healthy and strong, and that has allowed him to do this release emotionally. Hi, Misty. Hi, honey. Say hi, everybody. Yeah. And really lead into this because this is a big one. Because this isn't going anywhere anytime soon, right? Because it's the mother of the children, so it's really important still to be able to address this in a healthier way for him, where he can feel as though he has control of his life, and that, you know, she can't create any dysfunction or interference that would render him kind of feeling like he doesn't have control of his own life or take his power away from him. It's a very unhealthy dynamic. I just want to say hello, see. Yeah, she's just sitting right behind me. So he's saying he's going to be speaking up in whatever ways that would mean for you, if you have dynamics like this in your life, that you would know what he's talking about with regards to what he needs to say to her, that he needs to put his foot down and really say what he means, and not like cheap shots or like play like this avoidance or like passive aggressive behavior of saying something nasty and then not talking to her, like just avoiding the truth of the matter, you know. So sorry, I'm focused on the pen here because the pen is like pointing to this card, and it really put him in this Nine of Wands, the Christmas stuff, like Christmas and the gift and the card that I gave. And he only shared a little bit with me in response. He wishes he would have shared more, but it's because of her. She's definitely a block for us, that's for sure. I don't want to speak more to it than that, but he'll overcome it, because look, like a King of Wands is no joke. And he's focused over here, and he's focused on all the beautiful things, and he's above, so he's standing up. I'm also getting another message that if she has a partner, if she's in another relationship and she has a partner, he has no standing in regards to this situation with the twins. And he knows. And so he's kind of on the side here. And the divine's going to ensure that that stays that way, that he knows that he's not to step over here and get involved. Somehow he knows already. It might be the energy of this divine masculine, like I talked about earlier. Remember I was saying that like people usually know not to kind of go there. I feel like this guy knows that. But I still sense some arrogance and some kind of snobbery and like really, because this is a new relationship, so he's been kind of swayed and bamboozled by her, because the Queen of Wands and her darkness, like a shadowy Queen of Wands does that. It's very illusionary and very like fantasy like, and very like lower chakra, like lust. I heard hot and heavy, like just, yeah. And this could also be his energy here, where he's worried with whatever conversation this was. So if this hasn't happened yet, or if it has happened yet, if it has happened, it created this Nine of Wands for her and for him. Because see how it's more aligned here, and he's on top. So I feel like this is this masculine here, okay? And she tried to be curt and whatever, like kind of like, she's very sarcastic too. Like I'm getting like short and curt, and like she thinks she's funny, but she wasn't. And so whatever he said or is going to say is going to put her in her place, and it's going to create her to be in this Nine of Wands as well as this guy here. Where are my cards? I don't know where my little deck is. Oh, it's underneath there. I'm gonna pull some more here. Yeah, the World, you see? So I just pulled the World card. So that means it's over. It's over. This is all going to come to an end. We're coming out of a very long journey of allowing this Queen of Wands to run the show. She's not going to run the show anymore. The world is going to, the energy of the world is going to allow to move forward, because this beautiful milky quartz here is gonna, is a symbol and a sign that it's controlling like this energy from moving forward in the way that we are meant to. So there won't be a block is the point, because the Victory card's right there. And this is a card for me and my twin under here. Our names are on there. And this is a big piece of desert rose. And if you see here, the desert rose is also protecting that Nine of Cups that I channeled this morning and the Ace of Cups that I put there. Oh, and look, the Empress was underneath that other one. That's Divine Feminine. And this is who he's got his mind on. And look, his attention and that Knight of Wands, and that's the passion, and that's who's saving himself for her. He knows. Oh my goodness, guys, look at the star. Look at these cards, are amazing. I'm hearing wish fulfillment again. And she knows. She knows. And she acts like she doesn't care, but she will. There's no stopping this. And I'm being told to leave my spread just the way that it is overnight. So the energies will continue to work all the way through the night. So again, I'm just going to gift us with this beautiful apophyllite just to allow that energy to clear our fields and remove any nasty words that might have been said from her. And don't get me wrong, like I think that this energy embodies all these people, and I think he also feels this way a little bit too, because it wasn't an easy situation or conversation to have or whatever happened here. I think some major truths were spoken, like he called her out, and I think she tried to sort it, like she didn't really own it. This is like a facetious type of a card. Because she never takes him seriously, you know? Like, it's always been like that. It's always like, yeah, whatever. And it's because he's allowed her to really run the show for as many years and for as long as he has. So unfortunately, you know, until he really, what's that saying? Like, he shows her in the physical, like by his actions. You can't just say it. Like, you have to say it and then prove it by doing what you say you're going to do, but more than once. Put your money where your mouth is. Yes, that's what it is. Thank you. And I'm really happy to see that he's on top here. It was kind of weird how they wanted me to place the cards. Every spread is different that I do. It's so interesting. But, and you see how he's on top? So that tells me he's got control now, and he's clear and he knows. And if he hasn't said any of this, if this hasn't happened yet, it will. And this is all because of this Empress here. You're behind it all. You are being talked about everywhere, and that's okay. You haven't done anything wrong. It's time. That Ace of Cups is definitely going to come in. Okay, it's being safeguarded. And they want me to pull one more angel card here. Three of Wands, the God of Hope. Construction of the universe, help with great works, protection from adversaries. Sorry. Isn't that interesting? She doesn't see clearly, and the Divine's going to make sure that no harm occurs anymore, and she's going to have to surrender. Is what I'm getting here. She's going to be stopped. The Three of Wands is a waiting card, but not for us, okay? So that energy of three is how we co-create with the universe and with God, okay? See, what I was saying, co-creation, construction of the universe, help with the works, help with great works, protection from adversaries. Just have faith, everyone, okay? Oh my God, guys, look. A victory. All right, victory. The Ace of Swords again. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords here, Ace of Swords there. We have very powerful cards on the board here. Oh, and there's that King of Wands again. Look, everyone. Look at that. I believe our masculines have a gift for us, and I think they're finally resting and relaxing, and now that they've settled on what it is that they want to give us, they know you're gonna get it. It's gonna be in a box. And just know that he wants you to know that the way that you've communicated to him has really helped him feel supported, feel loved. And just because he hasn't called recently or talked to you or responded, it's because he's dealing with all this nastiness. And he wouldn't ever want to take anything out on you or make you feel like project onto you, like, you know, he knows that he's done that already before and he doesn't want to do that anymore, and he's really cleaning up his life. But that beautiful crystal in front there, like, he just, both my ears rang. So Archangel Gabriel is sounding the horn again, and there's a fleet of angels coming in to help push this communication through. So all the ways that communication needs to happen to clean up messes before he can come talk to you, that fleet of angels is going to help achieve that, okay? And Misty was just chatting there, huh? She's so sweet. Misty! So she's purring and she's kissing my feet. So that's a message too. Like, you know, we are grounding this communication, this union, this healing, and just keep doing you, Divine Feminine, and you're going to get there. It's going to happen. It's coming, okay? So on that note, I just want to zero in on the Star card. This is you, okay? This is how you make him feel. And everyone in the realms are clapping and they're cheering for us, and they're really, really have our backs. These unions are important. They're key to ascension for this whole universe. It's really, really important. I wouldn't be on YouTube otherwise. This is not something I ever thought I would do. I've been asked to do it for many, many years, and I'm very busy and stubborn, and I thought I can't do that. But I was really guided a few weeks ago, and it's to remove remaining blocks that would otherwise prevent twins from coming together. So I agreed to be of service, And when I made that promise between me and God quite a few years ago, and I just didn't know what service would mean outside of my career. And this is one of the ways. So it's an honor, and please stay strong, everybody. Keep your vibrations high and keep those crystals close and clear them in the sun. All right, smudge them. Make sure they're nice and clear, and they will support you in all the ways that you need. All right, trust your intuition. You'll know exactly what to pull in. And your masculine says thank you. So grateful for all the gifts you've given him, including the crystals, and just know that he appreciates them and he holds them very close to his heart. He's got them in his pocket. He wears them. He's got them in his vehicle. You know, if he has a desk at work, they're hidden, but he's got them, okay? And they're helping in all the ways that they were meant to help. So good for you. All right, everyone, on that note, have a good evening. We'll chat soon.